Okay, so thanks for allowing me to do this. I'm going to jump right in because, as you can see, there is a lot to go through. This I guess I wouldn't call it a presentation. This, I guess, debrief or whatever could literally last 8 hours. So I'm going to speed through some of these. If there's anything you want more detail on, honestly, just let me know, and I can get into more detail on any one of these topics. But I'm cautious about wasting your time and other people's time, so I'm not going to get into I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to tell you exactly, at least I hope I remember to, if you want to do this on your own, what you got to do, or give you suggestions. And if there's anything after this you have questions with, whether it's tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, you can always reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer any questions or point you in the right direction. So let's go ahead and get started. So a Google Business Profile. Well, first, local SEO is all about proximity, how close you are. To the searcher. So if somebody is searching for dog trainer, I think you're in Hoboken. I did this yesterday, so I'm trying to put back in my mind everything that I read. If somebody let's say somebody's in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I have no idea where that is in relation to Hoboken, but it's not in Hoboken, obviously. And they search for dog trainer near me. Obviously, the ones that show up that are closer to them have a higher probability of showing up just based on the proximity factor alone. Now, since you're a service area business and you don't have a physical location, you don't get credit for, you're losing a third of the battle when it comes to local SEO ranking, or to SEO ranking for local businesses. So I have an idea of maybe a way we can get around that. But if everything's the same, businesses that have addresses are going to outrank service businesses like 100% of the time. Of course, if everything's the same. And everything's not the same because there's, hundreds and hundreds of ranking factors. So relevant, how relevant the query is to the search. If somebody searched for Caesar, I can't think of the guy's name. Caesar dog trainer near me, then you're probably going to show up since you have a relationship with that guy, which is actually really cool. So that's, relevant, right? And of course, you're not going to show up if somebody searches for pepperoni pizza near me because you have nothing to do with pepperoni pizza. And then prominent. So how prominent are you? There's something called web footprint. So what's your web footprint like? Are you mentioned on other websites? How many directories are you in? Are you covered in magazines, trade journals? What about the reviews? All that kind of stuff. So that's prominence. And you already are ranking number 2 in the map pack. So if I search for dog, let me go to incognito. If you're ever testing, you want to do incognito window. Dog trainer. And I just do Hoboken right here. So this is good. I mean, there's not really anywhere to go other than one space up. Most of the clients I work with, they're either not showing up at all, or are on page 3, 4, or 5, or even like on lower page 1, and they want to move up into the top 3. The key is to getting in the top 3. I think that it breaks down to where this top result. So this is called the map pack here, these top 3, or it's also called the snack pack, or there's all kinds of terms. So I might use those interchangeably as I talk here. And I have a congestion and a headache, so I might repeat myself, and if I do, I apologize for that. But hopefully we'll get through this as quickly and as painlessly as possible. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I think this gets like 40% of the clicks. This gets like 30% of the clicks. This gets like 20% of the clicks, something like that. Even 15% of the clicks. And the rest of these get, what is that? What's the remainder there? Like 15%. And hardly any ever go to page 2. So the key is getting in the top 3, and you're in the top 3, which is good. I'd like to move up to page 1, the first result, but it's kind of hard to say. So this is the map pack, and this here are the organic results. You're doing better in the map pack than you are the organic results. So where are you at here? Right here. You're in the first result of page 2. And of course, we'd like to improve that as well. So that's the organic result. So ideally, you want to be in the top 3 here, and in the top. This is called above the fold. Everything you can see on the screen before you scroll down is above the fold. You want to be above the fold on the first page. Once you get down below the map pack right here, you want to be here, 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 here. Ideally number 1, of course, but somewhere in the top 4. And there's a ton of stuff to do, as you'll see. And there are pretty significant problems, so there's just a lot of work that could be done. So let's continue. So is there only one Google business profile entry? You only have one, so you pass. So pass, not pass. Review justifications, top results. These are keywords that Google thinks is important in your competition's reviews. So anytime it highlights these in your competitors' reviews and in your reviews. So anytime you're helping somebody write a review, which is very important to do, or if possible, if you have a comfortable relationship with them, and you probably do, since you can probably get to know these people, it's not like you're selling headphones. I'm going to pause it real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, what I was saying is, if you're getting, these are the, for every review you get, you want to respond to it. The keywords in the reviews matter. And if you can fit these keywords in the reviews and in the review responses, that would be awesome. I watched a lot of your YouTube videos. You're very charismatic. You obviously don't have a problem talking to people. You're very persuasive. So I think you get to know these people, and it seems like you put a lot of time, I can tell, into your business. So this would just be another thing to add, and I can help you with a review strategy, how to get reviews. These are just keywords you need to keep in mind, because this is what Google's looking for in reviews and in review responses and anywhere, in business profile information, anywhere. So just keep these in mind. Spammy competitor listings. So Supreme Canine. So what this means is if you, let's do this. Let's do dog trainer, Hoboken, not North Korea, North New Jersey. Let's go to, I meant to do this in maps. Let's go to maps here. The one I wrote down was Supreme Canine. If you could fit, actually, I think I forgot to mention something in one of my notes. Okay, not yet. Keywords in your business title are very important to Google. Let me close all this. So what companies do is they spam. So like what this company could do, Dog Life Hoboken. They might do Dog Life Hoboken dog training services, even though that's not the name of the company, but they got that keyword in there. All yours, surprisingly, use accurate business names other than Supreme Canine Dog Training and Advocacy. So if you go to the website, all it shows is Supreme Canine Training. So they're getting the keyword advocacy in there, which isn't part of their business name. So I would report them. You don't want to give your competition an advantage over you by keyword stuffing their Google business profile name. It used to be called a Google My Business, so you might hear me use those words interchangeably. Sorry about the sniffles. Like I said, my head is just, I got a bad congestion and a bad headache. So that's, I would report that. You are verified. That's good. You don't have any errors. That's good. Whoops. Categories. So your categories are good. So what this means is a lot of times I'll work with a business, and you want to make sure you're using the categories that the top ranking competition's using. So dog training near me, and I live in Louisiana. You can see here they're using dog trainer, service establishment, pet trainer, dog trainer, doggy daycare center, dog trainer, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know why my extension didn't show up over here. Let's do this. Okay, now we're in map. It'll work this time. Dog trainer. Let's do Hoboken. Hoboken, right? Wait. Hoboken. I think it's Hoboken. Hoboken, New Jersey. These are the top categories used by all of these businesses in Google Business Profile. Dog trainer, service establishment, pet sitter, dog walker, doggy daycare center, pet groomer. So you're good. You have dog trainer, dog daycare center, dog walker, service establishment, pet sitter. So you're good. The top ranking has dog trainer and service establishment. Third has pet trainer, dog trainer, school. Let's see. Okay, actually they do have pet trainer. I would put pet trainer here as well. I'm going to make a note of that. I just noticed that. Dog trainer, service establishment, pet sitter. So I'm assuming these are all accurate. You are actually a doggy daycare center, but I would also add pet trainer. But I would make dog trainer the primary. So add pet trainer. Because think about it. Somebody might search for pet training near me, even though they have a dog. They might search for pet training, even though it's for a dog. You know, you kind of have to keep in mind when you're creating content, when you're devising profiles and any type of document, any type of structure, what keywords do you think the people are going to be searching on to get to end up at that result? Business info with geocategory service benefits. Okay, so this just goes to your business info in Google Business Profile. Let's do this. Let me pin that. Okay, I think it's here actually. Right. So the profile, the keywords are pretty good. it just reads a little choppy, and I'll show you a couple examples. So I would rewrite this a little bit. Overall, it's good. Right here, there's not a space between period and best. And it's the Dog Whisperer Best Dog Training Center, and I understand why that was put in there, because if somebody searches for Best Dog Training Center in Ridgewood, New Jersey, you want to show up. But are you Ridgewood, New Jersey? I thought you were Hoboken. Hoboken. That doesn't sound right. I've heard the city 8,000 times, and I can't for the life of me figure out how to pronounce it right now. So it just reads kind of choppy, but overall it's okay. But there's some minor grammatical errors like that there. And I know you ran out of words, is why you probably tried to do that, but I would clean it up a little bit. And I can help you with that if you'd like. Business name. So what I might do, if you've never been penalized on Google Business Profile before, I might consider to your business name, and it might sound a little, I don't know, it's up to you, but I'm throwing it out there. You could get a boost if you put in Pack Leader Dogs. Training, that doesn't sound good. Advocacy and dog training, something like that. You want to get those keywords in the title. So if you're open to that, let me know. We can consider it. The concern is somebody reports you, but if you've never had a ding, you can afford to get one ding. So if you get multiple dings, you can get your account suspended permanently, and that's not good. But you'll see a boost if you put the actual keywords in the business name. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and we'll come up with something. Okay, your address is good. There's no duplicate addresses, meaning there's not multiple people sharing the same address. That can confuse Google. Your phone number is not used by, you don't have 8,000 different business names. That's good. Looks like, so we got Supreme and we are one. So if we go back, this is for fake address. This is another thing that businesses do, because businesses that have actual addresses rank better. Right? So what I did is I looked at your top 10 results of your competition, and I went, why is it not showing up now? Right here. This looks like, wait, let's see. Supreme and we are one. Okay, I think I went to the wrong one. Let me go back. Supreme. Okay, let's see. Okay, do they actually exist at this address? Actually, it does look like there's a dog on there. No, that's not. I don't know what that is. So I want to make sure that they actually exist at that address. But the other one, we are one, and they ranked a lot lower, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't want to give my competition any advantage that I can't have. Let's do Control F. We are. It's loading down here still. Let's do it. Let's just do this. We are one dog training. I did NK again. Right here. If you go to this and you go here, it definitely, if I remember correctly, it looks like a house. So I would report them for using a non-business address, right? Because that's obviously not a business. Unless it's like, this is an old picture and it's a home business, because they'd have to have a sign up front. So I'd report them. You don't want to allow your competition to have advantages that you can't have. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, I noticed your profile. You have a bunch of do you actually work in exist in all these service areas? And they just changed interface, so I'm still trying to remember where everything's at. You used to edit this stuff at the back end, and now you edit it here, which I find to be pretty annoying. I think it's here. Do you actually work in all of New York? Because that seems like quite a bit. Like, why, if you do all of New York and all of New Jersey, you might just want to put New York and New Jersey. There's no need to specify all these city names. So let's just verify all these service areas. And what you do for, well, I'll get into that in a little bit. So you mentioned, like, on your homepage, which I find odd, the logo here says the Maddie Ranch. Now, it's not clear to me. I mean, I get what it is. That's where you go to train the dog, and it makes sense in my head, but I would like to see that laid out more clearly what it is. But I definitely wouldn't have the logo here with a different URL on it, even though it redirects here. But from a human point of view, it can be confusing, but from an algorithmic point of view, it can be kind of confusing. And what was my point of bringing that up? What were we talking about? Could we use as the address wherever this ranch is this a ranch you own or do you rent it? Could we use that as the business address? Because like I said, you'd like to, unless it's actually way out in the middle of nowhere, then you may not want to. But these are things we just all need to talk, that you need to take into consideration, because you definitely have an advantage if you have a physical address. But definitely need to change this. I have a graphics guy that can alter this however you want. The logo looks good. He can just, update this URL probably for like $10 or something. It'd be maybe $5. It'd be really simple just to change this to Pack Leader Dogs or get rid of it altogether. And, we'd want to change this. At least I would. I think it's a little bit confusing. Maybe you don't want to. Okay, where are we at? Okay, hours. Just check the hours, make sure they're good. Website URL is good. Products. You do have products, and I do like products, even though they're not necessarily products. I do like putting services in products. You talk to different SEOs, you'll get different opinions on that. What I don't like is the descriptions aren't really optimized using like good keywords, and they are caps lock. That's not good. So that's something I would definitely fix. And you want to put the geo information there. So in the products, you want to make sure you mention the location. Hoboken, New Jersey. Hoboken, New Jersey, I think it is. Service all fields. So let's see. Okay, so services. It looks like somebody not reported in a bad way, but added all these services here that need to be verified. So it's quite a bit of services, but is all this stuff accurate? If so, we need to accept it or we need to edit it. So we need to. These are strange services. Care of your dog. Looks like somebody's trying to keyword stuff here. So this is something I definitely would investigate. I probably wouldn't keep most of these, but the interface has changed so much in the last few weeks. I'm still getting used to it. It could be reporting something that I'm like overlooking or something. But definitely one way or the other, we need to either edit or accept these suggested changes that were suggested by people on the internet. Appointment link. So you do have an appointment link, and I think it just goes to your contact page. If you want to implement a contact solution, like a booking solution, that's something you could do. Of course, you'd have to pay a little extra for it. I don't mind helping you with that if you'd like. But that's gonna you generally those do have monthly fees. Generally. Okay, attributes. So where do they keep it? I think it's a profile now. They don't call them attributes anymore, actually. They call it... So, you're not Asian-owned. I don't think you're Asian. You're not black. You're not Latino. You're not... well, I don't know. Are you? If you are, would you want to identify as LGBTQ-owned? Are you a veteran? If so, yes. So I would just go answer these yes or no, and then crowd, right? I'm assuming you're LGBTQ-friendly, so I would just answer that yes. And I just go look at these from time to time. Sometimes things get added. Then add any holiday hours and stuff like that. If you have any of those, which you probably don't. But go finish filling that stuff out. Those were called attributes up until 8 seconds ago, and then Google changed them for no apparent reason whatsoever. Opening date, your opening date's not configured. Just go put that in there. Google Posts. You're not doing Google Posts. It's something I would do. At a minimum, it shows Google that you're using their product, and it makes sense they would rank properties higher or businesses higher that are actually using their more features of their products. So that's something I would do. Ideally, you want to get in once per week. Posts can be offers. They could be like you could link to a blog post. It could be highlighting reviews, all that kind of stuff. More so, it's just you want to do it just to remain active and to show Google you're active. And make sure you use your keywords, like especially those keywords I mentioned up here, which are important, and geo keywords as well. Geo meaning the location where you're at, because there's something called topical relevance, like how relevant is your website, or topical authority, how authoritative is your site on the topic of dog training. Obviously, you know what you're doing if you're working with Caesar, or Cesar, I don't remember, I know who he is because I've seen him on TV, I don't remember his last name. And then you have Vinny on there, everybody knows who Vinny is from, what's it called, Jersey Shore. So these people aren't going to be coming to you unless you know what you're doing. So obviously you have what we call good social proof, and you probably know that because you seem like you're pretty good at marketing, so you know what you're doing. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I did. Reviews with responses. So your reviews, you get good reviews, but you're not responding to them. That's a big problem. You need to respond to every review you get, and you need it to be as personal as possible. So Shannon Beck. So let's say hopefully you remember Shannon Beck, and you remember that Shannon, let's just say Shannon's a guy, I don't know. Shannon is a New York Mets fan. If you could include something like that in the review response saying, hey Shannon, glad things are working out for you, and maybe even mention the dog's name if you could remember it. And then have fun at the Mets game tonight with, Joey or whatever. Something personal really helps. Basically, you want to do something more than just thank you, come again. It needs to be personal because people read reviews, and it has been shown, people are really, really impressed if they read reviews. If they have responses, and you don't have responses, so that's not good. So responses number one, and if the responses actually show that you know the customer, like you know something about them. So it's very powerful to do it. The way to get reviews is basically, and I can help you with this, send out an email like a few days after if they're still, after you've, helped them or delivered the product, or this, I guess in your case, the service, which would be helping them train their dog, and they're still happy. And, they haven't had a chance, the dog hasn't had a chance to like maybe go backwards and like unlearn some of the things that you help teach them. And then just send them directly to the, I can get on this if you want. Reviews are very, very important. And then if they don't respond in a few days, send another follow-up in about a week. And sometimes I send a third request. It's up to you, but I would never send more than 3. But reviews are very, very important. And you're not getting, surprisingly, with the newest one you got was 2 months ago. 2 months ago. You should be getting, I'm assuming you have maybe doing like 1 client per day. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. But when I clicked on this, in my mind, I was like, okay, he probably has a review in the last couple weeks, and not seeing one in the last 2 months actually surprised me. So this is something you need to focus on more. It's probably one of the more important, of all the things I'm talking about here, that's one of the more important things, is coming up with a good review strategy and getting those reviews. And it's not just on Google My Business or Google Business Profile. It's all of the other niche citation locations. You know what I mean? Like Yelp and all these other places. And that's something we definitely could go over. Okay, moving along. Giving out employee bonus. The reviews are so important. If you can afford it, giving out bonuses to employees that get reviews. So whether it doesn't have to be $50, but even like, a $5 gift card, Amazon gift card. Or, whatever it might be, whether it's, a movie tickets or a $10 gift card, whatever you can afford, because reviews are that critical. I like to also niche, meaning all the niche directories, and I like, if you're comfortable with it, getting photos in the reviews are powerful. So if you have really good relationships with some of these clients, customers, whatever you refer to them as, helping them write the reviews with the proper keywords and actually getting a photo in the reviews is really, really helpful. Even like sometimes what I'll do is I'll even like write the review, copy it. If I'm like have some of these people that I've gotten to know and I end up like being friends with, you know what I mean? Copy it, here, paste this in, here's a photo, use this photo, right? That's the kind of stuff I would do if at all possible. And I can help you with all that. Messages, you want to allow people, when people search, when your profile comes up here on mobile, there's going to be a button message here. You want to make sure you're using messages, and it's right here, so go configure that. Why won't this go away? Okay. Photos. Your photos are good. Yeah, your photos are really good. I would just continually do them more. I know it's totally annoying, but just like posts, I would like to see a new photo once every week, maybe 2. I mean, the more you can do, the better. But let's say you have like 10 new photos that you got a lot of energy one day and work with a really good client, and it was really went well, and you took a ton of photos of the dog doing all kinds of tricks. And videos too. Videos are really, really powerful. Don't post those all in one day. Just spread those out. Those also can be things that you post on Facebook, things that you can post on your social media, right? So just spread those out. You can schedule them. And there's programs you can use to schedule this stuff. Videos. Drone, this is from a template, obviously. So drone is more for like painting houses and stuff, so that doesn't apply to you. But this is just a template that I have, and this is a template I put together over multiple years. So this is pretty much soup to nuts, like everything. It's pretty hardcore and pretty detailed. Okay, let me get a sip of water here real quick. Okay, in Google My Business, or Google Business Profile, there is one more user. And I'm just pointing out this isn't all an SEO thing. But what happens a lot of time, I think it's in here now. Like I said, they just changed it. got to be here. Here. Does this person, social media pack leader dog, still need access to your Google Business profile? They probably do. I don't know. I'm just pointing that out. Make sure they do. You don't. I also do security. I do really in-depth security audits. So if you want one of those, let me know. I can do one of those as well. And I do web WordPress performance as well. So that's something else I can help you out with. And you'll see that is a pretty significant problem with you, which we'll get to. Both of those things. Performance is most definitely a ranking factor. Security is a ranking factor if you have a lot of malware on your site, which you don't, but you want to prevent that from happening in the first place. Sadly, most of the clients I work with in security, they pay me thousands and thousands of dollars to fix security holes that they could have paid like $150 or under $500 up front to do an audit and configure things to prevent things from happening in the first place. There's just a lot of proactive measures you can take to lock your site down, and I noticed you don't have a lot of stuff done there, so if that's something you want, let me know. I can help you with that. Questions. So questions and answers. You have a couple answered in Google Business Profile. That's something I would answer a lot more and sync those up with your FAQ on your website. And I would do a lot more FAQ stuff on your website as well. And also you want to ask the know these place questions. You want to proactively answer those. So what questions do you get asked time and time again? Probably cost information, probably how long does it take, probably what time can I drop off my dog, all that stuff. Even generic dog training stuff is really good information here. Because that's how people are going to find you. Okay, so Screaming Frog is a site spider. Let's see, we're on 46. I think we got like 180. And this stuff goes, pretty quick. Like I said, it's a very high level. Any one of these bullet points I could spend multiple minutes talking about. And like I said, if you want that, let me know. And we can do that. Hopefully it's after my head clears up. But, okay, site structure. So if you go to Screaming Frog, your site structure is pretty good. Most everything is accessible within a few clicks. What happens is some clients I work with, they have pages that are buried 8 clicks deep, and you don't have that. So everything looks to be indexed. You don't have any mixed content, meaning there's no non-HTTPS content. You do have a few broken links. I would install the broken link checker plugin. It's going to continually, and then set the priority of it way down to like if it's going to stop processing if utilization goes over like 10%, because you don't want that to slow down your website. This constantly checking for broken links. Because if you go here, these are broken links that you have. And these need to be resolved. Because Google's not going to send people... Now, 4 isn't a lot. I mean, sometimes I'll come to a website and there might be dozens or hundreds, and that's where it's a big problem. But you want to stay on top of these. If you install the Broken Link Checker plugin, which is exactly what it's called, I'll just show you here. I have a video on it. Actually, let me link that for you. Right here, wpmu.dev. Let me... Okay, thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to show you 3... Okay, that's right. The first 2 techniques I gave out in the video, you can ignore. It's the third one that goes about using the plugin. I would install that. If you need help with it, let me know. And it's gonna constantly check for broken links on your website. And if one's detected, you're gonna get an email, and you just need to go in and fix it. It's really easy to use. The problem is with broken links, most people have broken links, but they don't monitor them, so they just don't know. And that's gonna cost you traffic. Redirects. You do have some redirects. So if you go into Screaming Frog, and if you want this output, let me know. I'll send it to you as spreadsheets. Or if you want me to work out it, I can. You have these redirects. Generally, in some of these you may not be able to help, but generally you don't want, like, this HTTP is redirecting, if we went and looked, to HTTPS. So wherever that link is, and it's on this page here, on the home page, and on the About page, this link to Facebook, you just want it to go to HTTPS. Not a big deal, but it slows things down. Especially on-site stuff, more so than off-site stuff. And you can get Screaming Frog it's a paid tool, but if you're scanning under, I think it's 1,000 URLs, and you have way less than 1,000, you have a couple hundred, 500, you can use this tool for free as much as you like. All you need to do is go up here, type it in, then just go through these tabs like I'm showing you how to do, and you can get all this information. Or I can send it to you in spreadsheets if you like. yeah, your URLs, you generally want to put geo. So when I say geo, I mean geographic information and keywords in your URLs. You don't do a really good job of that, but at this point, is it something you want to update now? Like behavior optimization. To me, this would be, and this is just off the top of my head, dog training behavior optimization, something like that, with more you want to put your keywords in the URL, in the title, in the meta description, in the image, alt text, in the top of the text, and there might be someplace else I'm missing out, but then as in the text as you scroll down the page as well. So these are just kind of like adventure camp landing. So that's probably you typing one day adventure camp landing page. But to the algorithm, that doesn't really mean anything. So that would be like dog training adventure camp for the day or something. So do we want to go back and change those? I don't know. It's something we would talk about, but just so you know, this is the kind of stuff that matters. Meta descriptions, same kind of thing with meta descriptions. These are the meta descriptions are when you look at Google search, the search results, the SERP, SERP, search engine results page, you'll hear it referred to as SERP. Those little few sentences that appear under the search results, that's the meta description. You don't have any meta descriptions other than your home page, and that's not a good meta description. So if I do, let me go back and get the URL. Pack leader dogs. Sorry, my head's I can't even think straight. My head's so congested. If you ever want to know how Google has your website indexed, just do site call and then put the URL. You don't even have to put that. You can just do domain. And you can see here, your home page is showing this meta description. Even though you have this bad meta description, Google doesn't always accept what you put as the meta description, as you can see. If it doesn't like what you have, it'll put its own. And if you don't have anything, it'll put what it wants. So this is good. This is okay, but it's not what I'd want to see. And you want to have good meta descriptions that act as an advertisement. You know what I mean? For some of these, that may not be that important for some of these testimonial pages, but it's something you need to keep in mind. I definitely, at the minimum, you want to change meta descriptions for your homepage and your main service pages, meaning these here. Even though, yeah, these here. And even if you do it, Google may not like it, and it may use its own. But you want to, so let's say you write it and Google doesn't like it, and it keeps overriding it. You just have to keep changing it until Google finally takes it, and eventually it will. It can be annoying because it might take months to get that figured out, but that's what you got to do. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. Okay, now back to meta keywords. So meta keywords this is how SEO, how we used to rank pages probably 15 years ago. We would spam this thing called meta keywords for each web page, and it would tell Google what this page is about. Now this stuff doesn't work, and Bing, it actually hurts you. Last I heard, I think it still hurts you. So I definitely would get rid of your meta keywords on the homepage. You don't want you want all this stuff to be blank. So it's all blank except your homepage, so you want to get rid of this stuff. Okay, H1. So H1s are like headers. You know, like H1s are like bigger headers, H2 or smaller headers, whatever. So if you go to your home page, and this is what I'm going to tell you is true on all your pages, not just your home page. A problem you have, this here is an image. This needs to be text. Even though Google can read text, what it likes to do, it's a difference to whether this was just bold text or if this was in the HTML code specified as an H1, like as a header. Because if it's an H1, that tells Google that, okay, this is summarizing what all this other stuff is about, right? H2 is like a subsection of H1s, right? So this whole top part here, all these good keywording opportunities, pack leader dogs, dog care reinvented the nature's way. Now, you definitely up here need to change this to where it says, so dog training and Hoboken, New Jersey. I think I said it right that time. And it definitely can't be an image. It needs to be a text. And also, if you go to inspect and look at it on mobile, you can't even see it because it's so tiny. So let's just refresh to make sure we're looking at. So you're really going to get dinged on that. And most traffic these days is on mobile. So you can see how it's actually, at least on this example, this screen resolution, the sign up today is actually on top of the text here. Now, if you're configured in Google Search Console, which is like a dashboard for Google Search, you have to be in there. You probably would be getting an alert about this saying text is too, well, it's not text, is it? It's an image. So yeah, this just isn't good. So this is a problem. Big problem I would definitely fix. I'm going to put that here. Now, also on the home page, I noticed, and this is kind of true throughout the web page, and this is Google takes into account like the look and feel of things. I'm not a big fan of this font, however, it's okay. Whoops. And that's not good what just happened going to YouTube, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But look at the font here. This font, whoops. If I click there, I should just be like highlighting it, right? Well, actually, it did work there. But look how much bigger this font is than the rest of these. So it doesn't look professional. So that needs to be changed. This is all good keywording stuff here. Whoops. But yeah, so that's the big thing. And you can see this text here is overlapping. Let me do that. I'm going to put over above Vinny. No wonder it's interesting that you are friends with these guys. Like anytime I meet somebody on TV, it's like surreal, you know, like for the first 5 minutes, because it's like you see somebody on TV, but it looks like you've hung out with a lot of famous people, so I guess you're probably used to it. I never get used to it. It's not intimidating, it's just odd, you know what I mean? It's like different. So that's that. Links. You don't have any external links. External links tell Google that you're part of the web ecosystem, so you want to implement more external links, and you want to have a better internal linking structure as well. And going from blog to service pages, you don't have any new blog posts, and that's a big problem. Good. That's generally something you do want to do if at all possible. Anchor text. You don't have any anchor text. Anchor text is just the link, the text on the link, right? But since you don't have a lot of links, we don't have to worry about that. You just want to optimize it. Not over-optimize it, but you do want to optimize it. Not a huge deal. Canonicals are good. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's just something you can configure. Images. So your images, you have some really large images here. And images slow the loading of a website down. So for example, this is 2.9 meg, which the average website is about 3 meg. This website, this image, let's save as. Remember, it's 3 meg. So Steve and it's WebP. Interesting. How is a WebP image 3 megs? Actually, it might have converted. Let me look. Yeah, okay, so it's, if I do it at like 100% quality, it's 916K here. So it is doing some kind of weird converting. But what I would do is, basically I use a tool called Paint.net. It's not Paint, it's Paint.net. And you can really, first of all, I would change the dimensions of it to make it a little smaller because it doesn't need to be that big. Nobody's looking at it that big. And then change the quality of it. I can get most things down to like 30% and it look almost the exact same. And doing that, you get it down to 197K. So why this is that image alone is 3 megs. And that's going to slow the loading of web pages down. It's not on a laptop, on a pretty good Wi-Fi connection over like a broadband connection, it's not that noticeable. But on a mobile phone, especially a mid to lower end mobile phone, and especially on people that have like less than like 2 bars, which a lot of people don't have. Most people don't live in New York City. Like I live in Louisiana, I don't live in the country, although I wish I did. But it's not always as good a quality here. At my house, I usually get 2 bars, so things load real slow, and it's going to hurt what's called your Core Web Vitals, which is Google's way to determine how fast your website is. And if your Core Web Vitals are low, and your page is actually slow when people go to it, like when they actually go to it, like a human being goes to it, not an algorithm, not a bot, not some kind of weird algorithmic test, that's gonna be a point against you when Google's determining to rank your website or not. Underperforming thin content. Basically, you want to get rid of content that's not ranking. That's not getting traffic. Because Google looks at your entire website when it determines to send traffic there or not. If you have a bunch of content that nobody's going to, and you don't have a lot of content, but what I'm saying here, in order to determine this, I would need access to Google Analytics to see what pages are getting traffic and which aren't. So I did a scan using SEO Ability. It turned out pretty good. SEO Optimer came back good. Local competitor observations. I did a brief look at your competitors. This is something I would do a lot more in detail if you decided you want me to help you out. But I noticed a lot of them are like franchises and directories. Like look for enter your zip code to find a dog trainer. Those are just real like mega sites. Those are just really, really hard to outrank. So it's going to be really tough. The franchises and the directories. But any of those directories, can you get in those? Right? So what I would do is best dog trainers, top 10 America's best dog trainers. Find out how could you get into this. And I think somebody with your profile and personality and clients, well-known clients. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you're one of the few clients. I usually work with like banks, plumbers, salons, that type of stuff. I don't work, most people I don't work with don't have any type of, they're not interviewing Vinny from, from Jersey Shore. So you, on the other hand, could probably get in some of these type of more, I don't know the right word, some of these directories. But you would do best dog trainers, New Jersey. And go look at these lists. See if some of these lists you're on. Like I think you're the 15th on this Pooch and Harmony. So I would reach out. Let me see if my memory is good. Yeah, totally good. This is good because this is a backlink. Backlinks help. If you have a lot of links going into your site, this is called a backlink. These links going into your site from other places. The more of these you have, the better, because it's a signal to Google that your website's good. Now, you could buy a bunch of backlinks, but it's not good for multiple reasons, but this is good. So I would reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for putting me on your website. Is there any way, what could I do to prove that I'm top 5 or something like that? And there's probably a lot that you're not in. Also directories and I'll get into this a little more below, you want to be in all the business, like New Jersey business directory. Are you in all these business directories, right? And then Hoboken business directory. And maybe dog training directory. Dog trainer directory is probably better. Could you get in here? I don't know. Yeah, consultant directory. Okay, so that's where you would be. Now, some of these you may have to pay for, and you may not want to do it, but this is the kind of stuff. These are easy backlinking opportunities, and this is increasing your web footprint, as I talked about earlier. You're building up this social proof that you're in all Google seeing you existing in all these places, and that you're very relevant to the topic of dog training. Okay. Check site. Okay, so I showed you site colon earlier, and one thing that I came across. So you just need to do site colon that I showed you earlier, and make sure all those pages are good. I came across this /no. My guess is you probably created a page called no, meaning no, don't display it anywhere, but it is. Google thinks this is part of your website. And if it is part of your website, then we need to give it more context as to what's going on. My guess is you probably don't want it, so let's get rid of it. Whoops. Okay, you look good in the spam in the Wayback Machine. There's no spam on your website. You're not using multiple domains. This is a process I had. Let's see. Competitors' top pages. Yeah, most of the competition has very similar pages, which is good. Wait. Let me. This should be here. You're not using multiple domains. Okay, I pointed out earlier, the different URL and the logo. You get good pages. You don't have any content, any recent blog content. So this is a process, a video I made, the process I used to come up with good content ideas and that you can actually rank for, and then how to create that content. You can watch that video I posted on YouTube if you want. Oh, Google category check. I was doing a category check, and it thinks you're something other than a business. I need to go back and look at it, but I need your email in order to do it. So that's something we would need to go look at. You generally want to have landing pages for all of the, let's say, so you do Hoboken, let's say you do Elizabeth, New Jersey. You want to have landing pages for all, like you want to have a landing page for dog training, Elizabethtown, is it right, Elizabethtown? Or just Elizabeth, whatever. Dog training, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Dog training, now I can't remember any city in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. You want to have those specific pages because that gives Google stuff to index. More than just having the listing as service areas in Google Business Profile, you want to have those corresponding landing pages. Now that's really expensive to set up. So a lot of clients I work with, what we'll do is we'll focus on one. We'll focus on a really good geo landing page for dog training, Hoboken, New Jersey, the main hub city you want to work with. Once you see the profits coming from that, and you will see the profits coming from that, then you can take some of that profit and invest in another landing page and just do that, churn it out, churn it out, churn it out. And I've had clients that I'm working with, I started with working years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And we did one, waited a few months, did another one, and we're like on page 12 now. And like every few months we'll do another one. We just keep adding, and that's something I would do. You're not Google guaranteed. So Google guaranteed is you can Google it. It'll put a little badge next to your business saying it's Google guaranteed. It offers insurance. But it's mainly for like roofers. I don't know if dog trainers actually qualify, but it's something you might want to look into. It just gives it's a fee you pay. I don't remember the exact fee, but it's something you might want to look into. Domain age is good. You don't have a spammy backlink profile. I think I took a screenshot of your backlink profile. If these links are natural. Yeah, okay. What I pointed out is in January 2015, these are all the links coming into your site. You know, you had a few and you dropped some. And some of these are just going to be spammy bots. There's all kinds of weird backlinks people always get. You know, there's like bots doing stuff that we don't even totally understand. But this is a very good, natural looking increase in a backlinking profile. What happens is sometimes you'll see a backlink profile that looks like this, then it goes like a hockey stick, like straight up. And that's a sign to Google this is totally artificial. So what I'm pointing out is this is a good backlinking. This is a very healthy looking backlink profile. It's growing naturally over time. It's not artificially going nuts. Now there might have been some artificial stuff that went on here. Then Google found out there was some spam going on and knocked you back down a little bit. I don't know. So it'd be interesting to know if you bought backlinks. If you did, I wouldn't do it again because it looks like the natural trajectory is about like here. Maybe even more like this. Okay, where we at? Okay, your favoricon's good. Your 404 page is good. Sitemap's good. Robot's good. I do website, like I mentioned, security. I do audits. So I do have an agency license for iTheme Security Pro. So if you want me, I can do an audit for you. And with that audit, I give you, it's like an $80 plugin per year, or what, maybe $50, whatever it is. You can have that for free. So there's a video. I go over how to install and configure it here. If you want to do it on your own, all you have to do is click here. It's got and watch the video here, or you could set up a gig and I can do it for you. It's a great plugin, and security is a lot more than just installing a plugin. But this does it monitors the files on the file system changing. It does two-factor authentication, which is a must. All kinds of brute force protection, etc., etc. Homepage report. Now this is a big problem you have here. The average website is 3 megs. Your website's 20 megs. That's that's one of the bigger ones I've seen in quite a while. And you can see if you look at the waterfall chart, so these are your core web vitals. You are orange, red, red. You want to try to get these green, green, green. Not always possible, but you hopefully get them down to yellow. It's not always possible either, but you definitely want to get your website under 3 megs. At tops 5 megs. And you can see here, this is the waterfall chart. These are things that are loading. So this piece of CSS took about a half second to load. Right here. This CSS file. Styles.css. So these short little loading times are really good. Good. And you can start to see where your site's slowing, even though it's not that slow. This thinks it takes 30 seconds to load, 38 seconds to load, which it doesn't, obviously. This is just because it's an algorithm. But you don't want the algorithm to think that. But you can see, look where it's slowing down, these purple bars. What are these purple bars? These are images. So what is this? This image in itself is over a meg. So let's see what image this is. Sometimes it's buggy. You have to do this, and you have to go back. And we'll go to object again. Right. So this should not. It's because it's a PNG. This should be a WebP, we could probably get this down to probably about 30K from 1 meg. So that's from 1,000K down to 30K, right? So you're really getting hammered by Google for having these really bad core web vitals for performance. Now, I also do performance, and just like security, I have a agency license for iTheme Security Pro, which is a really good performance plugin. So if you want me to work on it, you get that for free as long as I'm doing this. If not, it would cost you, again, I think it's like $70 a year or something like that. But since I have an agency license, you don't need it. So that's one of reviews, I think, if I can remember correctly, are an immediate problem. And this website performance is an immediate problem. Those are two of the primary things I would focus on. Mobile friendly, I went over that. It's too small. Service page performance, same thing. It's the same thing as this. The web page performance is pretty slow on all of them. Your tags and categories aren't indexed, which is good. Let me get a sip of water here real quick. Okay, so you don't have any blog content. You have some. I think you have 2 pieces, but it's really old, so there's nothing there to optimize. Anytime you mention your services in your blog content, you want to link to those services. You're not doing that because you don't have any content. So, of course, it wouldn't make sense that you would have this since you don't have any. Your TikTok, you don't have a TikTok. I think you'd be really good watching your videos. Like I said, you're very comfortable on camera. You seem very confident. And I was watching something today. Where most people, more people now than ever get where they research their plastic surgeons on TikTok. I just heard that today. That blows my mind. It doesn't blow my mind, but it's amazing. So it's just another way to get more exposure of who you are, of your brand. That's something I would do if you have time. You could just upload little short clips from your YouTube videos onto TikTok. Try to build a following there. Twitter, you have a Twitter link, but it's broken. Not that Twitter would be that exciting for your business. I think Twitter is very overrated, honestly. It's mainly just hell for people to go into debate politics and scream at each other and be negative. But if you are going to link to Twitter, I would definitely just make sure, oh, now it's working. Maybe your account was banned or something. Huh. Okay, if you're going to have it, you just want to keep it updated. Right, so your last post was September 15th. So I'll just change this to interesting. I don't know why that said that. At least you want something once every week, once every couple weeks. What I like to do is just anything I post on Facebook, I also post on Twitter. Right, whether it's a screenshot of a review, I do that a lot because that's a quick way to stay active, to keep my business name in front of people, and I don't have to come up with a whole content idea, or come up with a promotion, or come up with some type of an event, like an open house or something like that. Right, just I get a review, I take a screenshot of it, and I post it. Yeah, so Facebook. So your Facebook, you have a lot of good YouTube content. That's the kind of, that you could post I would post that to Facebook and to Twitter as well. Open Graph. Open Graph is just basically when you share content for your website, it's going to show up real pretty in social media. It's going to look formatted. You don't have that configured, so that's something I would definitely do. YouTube is really good. YouTube is really, really good. It's a lot of good information. And I was watching your videos, and I heard you say you spend so much time on this, and I can totally tell you do, and that's awesome. So I can tell, what was I saying? That you spend a lot of time on it, and I can't remember the point I was going to make on that. I don't remember, but it's good. The YouTube content's really, I was watching I learned a lot, actually. I watched a couple of your call-in shows, and it was really cool. You have that young girl that she's like 16, and she's doing more than like adults, which is insane. Other social, I wouldn't worry about other social. I just put there's some niche companies I work with where there's specific like social type platforms for that industry, and that's I would recommend it in yours. I wouldn't worry about it. Yelp. Make sure you respond to all your reviews on Yelp. Citations. So citations are basically directories, like Foursquare, all these ones, all these like dog trainer directories. Are you in there? Just make sure you're in there. Yeah, your service landing pages. They're kind of sloppy. They're good. They got good keywords, but I would optimize them more. Let's go here. Services. I don't like this little sub menu here. I would just have Adventure Camp and all these others in this main menu. I don't like this sub training menu. Now that I think about it, I would get rid of that, I think. But let's just go to one of them. Private training. The fonts kind of go all over the place, which is one of the main things that stuck out to me. And it's from a professionalism look thing, it's important, but also Google takes this stuff into account. So I think, I don't have there's an icon called, there's an plugin extension called Font Ninja. That, let me just do this real quick. Font. I'm going to pause it while I install this. Okay, so on one of the pages you were using New Times Roman and a few other things, so let's click on the Font Ninja extension, and this is Knockout. I wouldn't use a font Knockout. I would use standard website fonts. This font is New Times Roman, but it's a lot bigger than other pages. And then you get, let's see, bottom line is I don't like the fonts, and they switch a lot, so that's something I would definitely look at optimizing. Let's get rid of this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, open sans and font. Let's go to one more real quick. Whoops. Also, you got to think about fonts from fonts take time to download. Most people don't think about that. And I like to recommend keep fonts to 2 to 3 fonts tops. Let's click here. Open sans Knockout 49. I just don't like Times New Roman. It just kind of looks like typewriter. Times New Roman. Okay, there was one page where the font totally shifted. I guess maybe it's just the sizing. See how big it is here, then it gets smaller here. There's just a lot of, here you go, too. Look how big it is here. Look at this. This is 24 font size. Compared here, it's 18. And this is 24, 18, 24. So I guess maybe you wrote, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't look good. It looks kind of inconsistent. That's something I would do. Okay, moving along. So you want to have any service you have, or your top services in Google Business Profile, you want to have corresponding landing pages or service pages for those on your website. So if you have, as a service in Google Business Profile, you know, dog behavior modification, you want to have a corresponding dog behavior modification page on your website. Now, again, that gets, I mean, you would spend thousands of dollars doing all of your services, like thousands and thousands. So it's one of the things you just do 1 or 2 at a time. Wait till that starts working. You could even run some Google ads to it. Once you make some profits, and you start moving towards the next ones. So your focus should be on landing pages for geo, for the area, and then mimic the top services on your Google Business Profile. And whatever keywords people use to get to those pages. I can get into that if you want. Yeah, so this homepage it looks okay. It's kind of not my favorite, but the thing, whoops, interesting. Why is that? The link wasn't working there. It could have been because I had the font thing up. But what I don't like at all is if I clicked on here, it should go to the puppy enrichment program page, which it does if I click here. But if I click here, it should do it as well. But if I click here, it takes me to YouTube. You don't want to get people, you don't want to take people off your page, because what will happen is they'll go here, and this happens all the time. They'll watch this, and then while they're watching, they'll see this, and they'll go, oh, and then they'll go here, and they'll go to, well, that's the other people's videos is what I'm saying.
I'm getting a little ramped up right now.
It's Stone Cold. And they'll get distracted, and they'll never come back. So you don't want to have all these external linking opportunities, especially when you're going to your money pages, your service pages, to send people off-site. You want to keep them off-site. So in this puppy enrichment program, I would put that video in here somewhere. It's really cool that you sit here just talking to, oh, Hunter, I didn't see Hunter Pincer. See, that's really cool that you have worked with all these very well-known people. That's really, really good for marketing. Obviously, I probably don't need to tell you that. Same thing with category landing pages. So you want to have landing pages for your service pages in Google Business Profile, and also at your Google Business Profile, you have categories. You want to have landing pages for those categories as well. Okay, use bullet points. So this is all stuff that you need to do on your landing pages. Since you don't have them, there's not much we can do. And like I'm not trying to blow patent. This is all important, but I'm just, we're already at an hour in, and it's going to take you a long time to get through this. If you want me to go over all this stuff, I totally will, no problem. But I don't want to waste your time. You click the call to actions above the fold, which is good. Proper keyword density. You're not using certain keywords enough on certain landing pages. That's a problem. I definitely would, and the more I look at it, the more you actually do. I didn't notice the Caesar, is it Caesar? Caesar? I mean, everybody knows him, like the dog whisperer, right? Isn't that his name? And I think you mentioned that actually. I would, and Vinny, like it would probably be cheesy if you were like, the dog trainer to Vinny way up here, because I get that. That would be like cheesy, but if you could, that would really set you apart if you could somehow mention, that you're, I don't think assistant is the right word, but you are a colleague of Cesar. I think it's Cesar, isn't it? The dog whisperer. Somehow up here, up top, because that's what that would really impress me if I was looking for a dog trainer. And for one of the first things I saw is that you worked with like the most famous dog trainer in the world. I mean, that's something. When you're putting together web pages and you're selling stuff, you have to describe what you do, but you also need to not just describe what you do, but how it makes somebody's life easier. Like, when you see advertisements for toothpaste, it's not really about like what the toothpaste is made of, like, the chemicals and stuff like that. It's like, get a better looking girlfriend, so it's more of a marketing thing. So how you're going to make their life easier, and also what makes you different. It's not really about me, it's why you should choose me. And I think one of your biggest selling points is Cesar. I guess I'll say Cesar, even though that doesn't sound Cesar, I don't know. And you have that. How many dog trainers in the world were trained that have been to his school, which you've been to? Probably not many. I would think maybe dozens. That's something I would put like personally trained by Caesar the dog whisperer or something. So you get the idea. So that's just more of a marketing thing. But I think it really would increase your conversion rate like drastically. If that's one of the first, I didn't know that until I read. And then when I got down to Vinny, I was like, well, that's cool. I mean, Vinny seems like a nice guy. You know what I mean? Seems like a down to earth dude. That's really cool. And now I just saw Hotter Pants. So if somehow you could mention that stuff without it being too like you're clout chasing, and I get that's probably a concern of yours. You don't want to write on these people's name, but the main thing is if you could mention that you're trained by Caesar, whatever his name is. The dog whisperer. I think everybody knows him as the dog whisperer. Like any awards, membership, certifications, all that stuff. I'll just put an X there. Case studies, I don't think you really have case studies, so I just left it at that. You do a really good job with testimonials. I like that. I think you have it's one of the best things. One of the best things you're handling the best, I think, are testimonials. So you're doing a good job there. Socials are on the website. That's really good. Search for best top keyword. I showed you that. So like best dog trainer New Jersey. Go look at where all those directories, where all those top dog trainers are being listed, and get it mentioned on those websites. And the only way to do that is you just got to reach out to these people. Your phone number is not, is it? I thought it was on the top right. Yeah, it is. It's clickable here, and it needs to be in the footer. I don't remember, is it in the footer? You also, because it's not down here in the footer. And you can see here, the font here, this like us on Facebook, it's hard to read. It's hard to read here. And this testimonials probably just needs to be moved over here because your footer's all jacked up. And your copyright date's till 2017. Let's just make a note of that. And I mentioned lower down here that your font's jacked up, so I don't need to type that again here. Yeah, on your contact page, I get why you put Northern New Jersey, but you don't, I would put the actual city name. I would put Hoboken, New Jersey. I wouldn't put Northern New Jersey. Because that's very, Google looks at this stuff very literal. We're almost finished. Okay, a lot of these notes coming up, so we're about to get done here. Address and footer. You don't have your address and footer. Now, you don't have an address, but maybe we could use the ranch. I don't know. It's something we'd have to talk about. Areas we serve. I always like to put the areas I serve in the footer. Areas I serve. City A, City B, City D, blah, blah, blah. About us page. I would like to see more explanation about what the ranch is. And this may be where the fonts are kind of messed up. See here? Let's go to Font Ninja again. Is this Roman? Yeah, New Times Roman. I would change these fonts around. So this is Knockouts. There's the Cesar guy that everybody knows, which is really cool. Oh, why have the read more section? I would just like have it all laid out here. These are really good. These are really good short bios. So why do we have it? Not a big deal at all, but I wouldn't have a read more section. I would just have it all laid out here. Not a big deal at all. I don't like the New Times Roman. I don't like this knockout font. It's not. It's really good, really good. Okay. About, like I mentioned, it's not just. I see my clients drastically increase their conversions once they focus on the app about what they have, what my products are, describe them, but why us? It's every product, every company has something that makes them unique, and what makes you unique. And I think it's, in my mind, it's pretty clear what would set you apart from the competition, and that's something I definitely would focus on, and I would put that on the why us page. But it may be kind of a sticky thing with you, like, do you want to mention his name that much? Is that kind of like cheesy? I don't know. I don't think it is. Saying that you were trained by him, I think that's very honorable and very awesome. But I don't know in your mind if you would consider that like name dropping or something. I don't know. I don't think it is. Giveaway. It's always good to you can just give away. If it may not work for you, but I do this with a lot of my real estate agent clients. They do a consultation with us and we'll give you something. A $10 gift card, $20 gift card. May not make sense to you, but something you can put on there. Legal pages like disclaimer, terms of service, etc., etc. You probably don't even need them, but if you do, it's something to note that we could do. You're not using any stock images that I could tell, so that's good. Google likes real images, not stock images. Went over using what the benefits of using your service. I mean, yours is not really a benefit. Well, I guess is less dogs gonna bite your not urinate in your carpet as much and all that stuff. So that's something I would lay out. I would have, you don't have find us on Yelp, et cetera, on your website. That's something I would do. You do have the social medias listed, but I would have find us on Yelp, Foursquare, all these other niche directories. You don't have the hours on your webpage, which you don't have hours, so it's no big deal. FAQ, I would add more to the FAQ. You don't have a map on your website. You don't really have a location, so that makes sense, but I would have it. Schema, you don't have schema implemented. Schema gives Google, and this is something I would implement right away, that you're a local business, right? It helps Google understand what's going on. Give away a free ebook, like top 10 secrets to training an aggressive dog. This is stuff people search on, and this is going to bring people your way. And this is how you also can get people on a mailing list. Guaranteed badge. Most businesses do have a money back guarantee badge on their website, but I read that you don't guarantee, and I understand that, but just throwing it out there is something that you might want to, if you do change that policy, you want to put that badge on the website. Add prices. I read somewhere where I think it was $1,000 per session, I think. Would you be comfortable adding that? What we find is, let me back up. What we find is people looking at pages, whether it's a plumber, whether it's a whatever, they like to have pricing information. Are you cool with putting price information on your service pages? If so, that's something I would do right away. Okay, it looks like everything that's indexed needs to be indexed. Referral bonuses, that's always, I don't know if you're doing that, but you don't have a page about it. That's something I would do. Go in right now and put your name and your business name into Google Alerts. So anytime your business name or your name is mentioned, you're going to get an alert, an email alert on it, because you want to stay on top of what people are talking about you or your business. Google Analytics, you have to know what's work. This is just so you can see the analytics about the data for your website, what's working, what's not working, what pages people are going to, etc. I don't think you're on Google Analytics. You need to be. Google Search Console, this is the search dashboard for Google Search. I'm not sure if you're in there or not, but if you were, you'd be probably getting alerts about some of the small text and some of the fonts, I would think. Maybe not, but you may. That's something I definitely would get in Google Search Console as soon as possible. That's going to tell you what keywords people are using that you're showing up in the search results for. What of your results are people clicking on in the most in search results? You can get a lot of good information on there. You are in Bing Places. So Bing Places is Microsoft's equivalent of Google Business Profile. However, I don't think you're set up to sync. I would set it up to sync with Google Business Profile. And why Bing's important, it's most people don't use it, but Amazon Alexa does use it because Amazon and Google hate each other. Yahoo Local, I don't think you're in Yahoo Local. Again, most people don't use it, but it increases your web footprint. It's a place I would definitely be. I would also be in Apple Maps. I would get into this gigantic Chinese search engine and the Russian search engine. Doesn't take long to set up, maybe 10 minutes each. Mainly more for if you start to have a lot of content. You want to get all that content indexed. because what happens is more traffic leads to more traffic, leads to more traffic, to more traffic. So it doesn't matter where these people come from. If you write a good article on training a dog or something like that, and somebody in China visits it, Google's going to know it if you're using Google Analytics, or if they're using Chrome, it probably reports back as well, and that's going to be a signal to Google if they stayed on your page and read your content that your website's good. So you want to get as much traffic as possible. And once people start reading your content and reading it and actually staying on it and absorbing it, it's going to prove to Google that you're an authority on this topic, and you're going to start to appear higher when people search for dog trainer near me and they're living in New Jersey, right? So all of it's all tied together. You do redirect here. The www check turned out well. I don't know why I put this here. You don't need a Wikipedia page. You could have a Wikipedia page. I don't know. I don't think you need one. I don't see any plagiarism. I don't see any duplicate content. And UserBob. So UserBob is something I do with my clients once a month. I like to see, basically you pay $20 and for like 20 1-minute sessions. So, and then you basically say, go to my website, tell me what you think about it. And you can see them navigating the website for a minute, and you hear them talking about what they like and dislike. It's powerful because you get some really good feedback on your website, but also the reason I do it month after month is because sometimes things break and we don't know about it because we don't go to our own websites. Like that font issue that I pointed out on your homepage. You probably never saw it because you don't go to your own website. Most people don't. A lot of times you'll come across broken links and stuff, so it's almost like a sanity check. And Specklet they have a paid version, but the free version you can put on your website, and it will record people like 50 sessions per day, which is plenty for a business like this, using your website. And you can actually see how people are interacting with your website, and you can see what they see when they go to your website. Very important. You don't have live chat. That's critical these days. That's something I would implement right away. Google Ads you're not doing, as far as I know. That's something you might want to consider. And you need to track results. So if you're not tracking results, you don't know. And I have a spreadsheet I can give you if you'd like it. If you don't know where, you don't know if you're not tracking results, if what you're doing is working or not. So, deep breath. So I know that is overwhelming, and it is overwhelming because it's a lot of work. Full SEO campaigns can take months and months. It's not something that you're going to fix in a couple weeks to do it properly. Something that it's going to require a lot of work over multiple months. If you'd like to work with me on it, I'd be happy to help out. But I pretty much laid out what I would do if you're going to do it on your own, or if you're going to hire another company or whatever, like the things they should, in my opinion, what they should be looking at. And if you need any more specifics on any more detail on any of this stuff, individually, let me know, and I'd be happy to, we can just chat about it, or we can, talk on the phone, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just let me know. And I think that's it. Or if you want those, if I did do SEO for you, it would include the performance and the security. That's all part of it. If you wanted those, if you want that stuff, if you want a security audit done independently, or you want your website performance fixed independently, those are separate gigs that we could do as well. So it just depends on what you want to do. So I hope this has helped you. You have a good foundation. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of and addressed. So I hope this helps, and let me know what you think. All right, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.